This one's for all the candidates, and this time I'll do this one right to left. And so Amanda, what are your thoughts regarding Tract D? And that's the Glenwood Valley area.
Tract D is sort of in my backyard. This is something that I heard about growing up, and even when I moved back, it was still going on. To me, it sounds like there was a treaty that was honored, and I know that the community is having a hard time understanding police coverage and water rights with the irrigation, but it sounds like conversations are happening and these water rights issues are getting sorted out, and before we know it, everybody's going to be taken care of. I look forward to getting in there and working with the tribes and the Glenwood residents if there's any future problems.
Okay, Todd?
Yeah, I think Amanda pretty much covered it. It's a strange creature out there, Glenwood, and how that happened. And I've heard stories. So you talk to past county commissioners, or you go into the government office, you go to Goldendale there, and you kind of get one story, and then you talk to some of the residents, and you hear something else. So imagine you're living there and you don't know what jurisdiction you're under or anything like that. But as far as I know, is the policing, as far as the sheriff and the Native, I don't know what you call the Native American, the tribal police. As strange as it is to us, it's not strange to them. They have different districts and different rules. They know county lines and things like that. So it seems complicated, but they have to deal with those sort of boundaries all the time. So they work really well together. But if you're living there, it's I've talked to certain people, and you don't know if the water on your land is technically yours, because on Native American land, technically it doesn't belong to you. But so I feel for the citizens, but it doesn't seem to have changed the way they're taxed or anything like that. They're just kind of in this fog, and everybody sleeps better at night if they're like, oh, I know where I'm at and who my government is and who I go to make decisions. And if I want to hunt, what do I do about hunting? Or if I want, those things are it's just a good feeling to know who to speak to when you have a problem or an issue. So I feel with that and where the problem lies, I hear sometimes it was Klickitat County and some things not being filed, but it's going to be an issue for a little while, and I think it'll sort itself out.
All right, Dan.
Do I use my 1 minute rebuttal? I'm kidding.
These microphones could be used for something else.
I know that. Tract D is Tract D. We all are well aware of Tract D. What we have to do is where we go from here. We can't back up. Courts have ruled. You need to make sure you elect people that have forethought, that look at possible scenarios, that they can fix possible scenarios before they fall out of the sky, land on your face, and start to wiggle. Here's one that I brought forward. Are you aware that the tribe believes that they own the water in the wells in Glenwood? And if you're up there, you've got to get permission from them to use your own well. And that you've got to go in and get a permit every 5 years. Well, what if they don't want to give you the permit? What if they want to charge you $2,000 for the permit? What do we do about that? Well, we can't put in a cistern and truck potable water over there because that's illegal in Klickitat County. Why? I don't know. We're the only ones that don't, but okay. So to get in front of the tribe potentially using that as leverage against the citizens, I pushed forward, and thanks to Commissioner Anderson, I very much appreciate his support on this, was able to move through and legalize truck potable water in Klickitat County. So now if the tribe tries to leverage the citizens' water right, the citizens just say, well, I'll just slap a cistern on here and we'll keep on going along. It doesn't devalue your money or property or anything else, but we have to start thinking proactively on what The next scenario is going to be that they might use as leverage that we can change our county code to protect our citizens in the valley. Now, I do feel for all those citizens because technically I'm not going to buy a piece of property there, just because who I can call for law enforcement if something happens. And I don't like living under the rules of if the incident involves a tribal member, I can't call my sheriff. I have to call the tribal police and hope they do something. That would scare the hell out of me, based on previous knowledge that I have. So I feel for them and I will do all I can to help them. If they have more ideas on how to help them, please bring them forward. If I'm not here and I come up with an idea, hopefully Ron will run with my idea because we have to protect those people from what has happened to them.
Ron?
Yeah, thanks, Dan. Yeah, Tract D, some of the biggest issues I see, I know is the law enforcement when it becomes with a juvenile or adult also, tribal.
If they're not Native American,
If they're not Native American,
they're in our jurisdiction.
You let him answer the questions, Bob.
He's
Yeah,
giving
I'm not debating.
the Native American
He's giving
is the issue. Some other issues that haven't been discussed, we did talk about the water rights, you're right. Now the PUD has to go to the tribe to get water rights, lease water rights. They can't even, ecology will not, or Department of Health, the state will not give them the water rights. They have to go to the tribe to get water rights. So now they're doing long-term lease. Well, you know about leasing water. Usually you want it on a long-term basis, and that's not how it is. Also, some of the issue with the Tract D is Department of Ecology's backed off and said, we no longer have jurisdiction to oversee on the wastewater plant and the sewer plant. And so who's gonna? Is that EPA? Federal jurisdiction? That's some major issues that we're gonna have to work out. And I agree with Dan, no matter what, whoever's in place, it's gonna be a big issue. It's like we worked on the water rights back when I was a commissioner before, and we did get the water rights perfected to Glenwood. Then since then, they said, well, you don't have access on the ditch. You got the water right, but you don't have access. That's a big issue in Glenwood Valley, even today. So thank you. But me too.
How dare you?
My rebuttal is more of an add-on.
I know, right?
So these
Why
are
did I do this?
all of these challenges are true, and this makes a great point in what type of leader you need to be looking for. You need somebody that's not combative with the tribes, that's willing to go across party lines and work, because we can't go in and demand things and expect to get it and put up a fight. We need to be having conversations and building bridges.